musicians. Today I would like to bring you a little video on how to get gigs, best gigs or better gigs, or good gigs, and keep them. And the answer to that question is be a great professional. All right? Now, how can you be a good professional? That's another story. There's a lot of things that are important for a professional musician. But it all is divided in basically two categories. What you can control and what you cannot control. The most important, of course, is the first one. I'm doing this video because I'm going to give you a little bit of advice on how to be a professional and also how to avoid the mistakes that I have made. And I still struggle with this. It's not something that you learn and then it's solved forever. It's still something that you keep working at it. Sometimes I go to a gig and it's too late or too early, or there's a lot of things that I'm gonna get to. Okay, the stuff that you can control is personality, your clothes, your good habits, your transportation, instruments, in good shape, people's skills. All of those you can control. So all of those, make sure you control those things to be a good professional. You cannot control genetics, or you cannot control your race or your age, your character. I'm gonna get to the stuff that you can control, and that's okay. Chapter 1: the musical preparation. Of course, to be a musician, you have to play. And there's all kinds of playing, different playing. A is school, some kind of school. You could either go to a university or music school, or you could study at home, which is also kind of a school, self-taught. But it has to be consistent. It has to be, serious. It's not like you're just gonna stay home and you're gonna be, by magic learning all this stuff. And B is the street. The street meaning out there. How do you, playing by ear? How do you learn songs? You need to have a lot of songs repertoire. The swings and styles for different music, different styles of music, which is like for jazz, you need a certain way, and then if you go deep, the jazz from New York is different than the jazz from LA or Chicago, and so on. And also composition and improvisation. You need to have on the street. You need to know that. Skills. Playing. Playing in general. Playing music, so that you can say, yeah, I play bass, I play guitar. You have the confidence of saying, yeah, I play. Reading is very important. Reading music is not crucial. There's a lot of guys that don't read and have made big careers. But you should read as much as you can. Composing and arranging, you need that because sometimes they call you for the gigs and they need, you need to help them, say, why don't we do this here, this there. So that helps. Improvising, because sometimes you have to do solos, even if you're a bass player like me. Composition is basically slow improvising, and improvising is fast composition. Memorization, you need to have good memory for music, or develop it, develop so that you know a lot of songs and a lot of styles, and if you learn something, you don't forget it easy. It would be great if you can have photographic memory and remember everything. Obviously, we don't, but there's also an understanding. When you understand stuff, sometimes it stays better in the mind. So that's why you study. You go back to school. You review your scales, your theory, all of that. Chapter 2, which page 3? Business preparation. Okay, you gotta have people skills. You gotta know how to talk to people, conversational skills, argumental skills. You gotta know how to argue without being going crazy, and don't let your pressure go up to 200 over 120 because they they don't understand you. You have to have a long fuse, especially music, because there's a lot of people that it's art. I mean, it's like everybody has their own opinion, and I wrote down something that I can't even read. Anyway, oh, no clowning. This is important. This is as a business. You want to be a fun person. You want to be have fun and make a few jokes here and there, but you don't want to be a clown. I don't think that's good. Punctuality, never be late. We'll get back to this later, and not too early. Appearance, we're gonna get back to this too. Clothes, like I said, you cannot control your genetics. You cannot be shorter or taller, or change race, like be white, be black, but you can change a lot of stuff by having the right wardrobe and all that stuff. Transportation, you need to have a car in good condition. Put some money. Doesn't have to be a new car, but at least keep it in good shape so that it's reliable. Equipment, your guitar, strings, basses, amplifiers, mics. You need to invest in that. You need to, because that you're gonna use and use and use. So don't be cheap on that. Okay, another chapter 5. Being on time. Like I said, you don't want to be too early, and you don't want to be never late. You want, but I have a ratio of calculating time. Just go 1.5 or 2 times the amount of time that you think is going to take you to the gig. Let's say you think it's an hour. Well, depending on how close or how far, do the 1.5 or 2 double the time. In other words, if I'm here in Torrance, and Long Beach is like 15 minutes, so at least I gotta go there with 25 minutes, a half an hour. And if it's far away, you might have to double or even more. When you're early, find something to do away from the venue, away from the place, and from the house. If you're going to find a coffee house or read a book, organize your car, do some sightseeing, see if you haven't seen the place, just go around, people watch. There's a big, it's a funny one, but I'm going to say it because I know some musicians do it. Don't park in front of the house and just go to sleep inside the car, because that they might think you're drunk, or they might call the police, or nobody likes to see that. Don't be in the way of others that are doing their job. Don't be too early. If you're too early and they're still putting the flowers, if it's a wedding or something, you're gonna be, just be there 15 or half an hour at the most before they told you to be there. That's the best. So you are already parked, already. If you need to be dressed, maybe change, and be there 15 minutes before they tell you. That's fine. Okay, another chapter. Respect and support the leader. Wait until they ask you to give advice. Be ready to help. If you know about sound, be ready to give a hand to the sound man or whoever. You just, solve problems. That's good. But wait until they ask you. Don't try to go there.